Welcome to Bible Logos. My name is Robin Carter and I'm your broadcast host. Today, I'm excited to introduce part 1 of the message, Targeted Prayer. Praise, like, and share this message on social media with your friends and family. All right, here's part 1 of Targeted Prayer.
James chapter 5, beginning at the latter part of verse 16 through verse 18 from the New King James Version of the Bible. The monitor back here is not on. James chapter 5, verse 16b through 18 from the New King James Version of the Bible reads as follows. The effective, fervent prayer of a righteous man avails much. Verse 17 says, Elijah was a man with a nature like ours, and he prayed earnestly that it would not rain. Look what it said there. He was a man. See what it says about Elijah? He was a man just like us. See what it says there? It says, and he prayed earnestly that it would not rain. Somebody just like you did that. Somebody just like you did that. Point to yourself. Somebody just like me did that. It says, he prayed earnestly that it would not rain, and it did not rain on the land for 3 years and 6 months. Say, somebody just like me did that. It says in verse 18, and he prayed again, apparently 3 years and 6 months later. And the heaven gave rain, and the earth produced its fruit. Just greet somebody, 2 or 3 people before you take your seats, and tell them, that's just like me. Tell them, that's just like me. That's just like me. Last week we started a series that we call Effective Prayer. And for today, I want to use the title, Targeted Prayer. Today I want to talk about targeted prayer. Do you know to be effective at anything, there's some investments you have to make? To be effective at anything, it requires an investment from you. You have to be disciplined. You have to be committed. You have to learn about it. You might have to do some research on it. You got to develop your skills in it. It requires practice, doesn't it? You got to practice that in order to get effective. You got to build it and get better and better at it, don't you? You got to know something about the rules. You got to know what works. You got to know what doesn't work. But in addition to those things, you also need to know where to apply your efforts. You need to know that if you're applying your efforts in this direction, this is the direction that you want results from your efforts. If you want results on the east. Is that east? That's west. If you want results, thank you, preacher, on the west, you need to apply your pressure, your efforts in the direction that you want the result. Does it make sense to want results over here and I'm shooting over here? Or I'm shooting up there? Somebody says the wrong target, huh? Let's say you're hungry and you want some eggs and bacon and grits. Would you go to Ashley's furniture store to get the breakfast food that you want? You're laughing at that. That wouldn't make any sense, right? It makes more sense to go to Ralph's because you're looking for food, right? If you want those shoes that Derek has on today, them some bad shoes Derek has on today. But I bet you can't find those shoes in Ace Hardware store. It wouldn't make sense to go to Ace Hardware store in order to get shoes. You'd be better off going to a shoe store or to a mall or to, some of these brothers like to go down to LA to get their clothes, or somewhere that clothes and shoes are sold. Everybody say Target. To be effective requires an effective use of your time, right? It's better to focus or direct your efforts toward the target than tossing it up in the air and just hoping it lands on the result that you want. Is that right? In the sport of archery, anybody familiar with archery? That's the one where they have the bows and the arrows, right? In the sport of archery, the tools are a bow, arrows, and a target. The objective of that game is to hit the target with the arrows guided by the bow. You want to hit the target. It's better if you get a bullseye, but at the very least, you want to hit the target. In a sense, prayer is like the sport of archery.
Welcome back. We're just getting started, but I'm already excited about this word. Tune in tomorrow for part 2 of the message, Targeted Prayer. And don't forget to like it and share it with your friends and family. I'm Robin Carter, and I want you to remember that the sower sows the word, and therefore it is with the same measure you meet that it shall be measured unto you.